Hi, I'm 𝙍𝙀𝙍𝙄𝙊𝙍𝙀, head rebel at REBL Marketing, and I'm here today with 𝙍𝙀𝘽𝘽𝙇𝙐𝙄, fractional CMO, and my partner in crime. And we are going to talk to you about the 10 best practices to get the most out of your video production. And number one is start with your strategy. I mean, video is a great tool, but it really needs a strategy. And so we're going to talk about what goes into a really good video strategy. Where do you start, Michelle?
Well, I think the first thing that you need to do is really consider the topics you want to discuss. And once you kind of figure out those topics, you need to put a content calendar together so that you can plan on how you're going to roll those videos out.
Yeah, for sure. And also you should understand what the objective of your videos are going to be. Like, what do you want to get out of them? Are they educational, promotional? Do you have a new service or product coming out? And then once you've got your topic schedule, you've done your research, you've got a content calendar put together, you definitely need to then decide who's going to be on camera. So how do you choose who's on camera? Who's usually a good person for that?
Well, I think, the subject matter expert, right? The person that really knows what they're talking about is the important person. Or somebody like if it's a partner at a firm or a product manager that's talking about a specific product that they know really well, those are good people to have on camera.
Yeah, for sure. And once you've got that done, here's a budgeting tip that we use with ourselves and our clients. Don't just film one video, film multiple videos during that time. Whether you're doing it yourself or you got a professional crew, especially if you have a professional crew coming in, make that time valuable, film multiple videos at one time. It'll definitely save on your budget. And last on that whole content strategy piece is schedule it and do it. I can't stress that enough. So number two best practice is script your videos. Why do we want to do this, Michelle?
Well, it's important that you know what you're going to be talking about. And people get a little hung up when they're reading through a script and they think that they need to say everything word for word. And it tends to create a lot of anxiety, especially when you're on camera. So one of the best things to do is just bullet out the topics that you want to talk about. I mean, you are a subject matter expert. And the more comfortably you can articulate what you do and why you do it, the more authentic it'll be when it comes across to the audience.
Yes. So we have a script outline that we use. It's fairly simple. On the left side is your bullet points, what you're going to talk about. We always say try to keep it to like 3 core, top points that you want to make. And then the right side is for your B-roll. Images, graphs, maybe on-screen, how-tos, whatever you're going to use to complement those points and making them just stronger throughout the video. So definitely scripting is important. Don't just wing it. Not only is that a waste of your time, but it's the waste of the viewer's time. I'd like to think that scripting also allows you to identify maybe there's something that you haven't thought out as far as a topic, and it'll help you maybe do that additional research that you need and capture the right data to make that video as valuable as possible. All right, number 3 best practice is practice. Oh my gosh, I can't stress this enough. And we're guilty of it too. You have to practice. So you got your strategy in place, you've got your script written, and you've got to practice. And Michelle, my gosh, we've had some video shoots that are painful because we didn't practice or the client didn't practice. So why should people practice?
Well, number one, you just want to get really comfortable with the points that you're trying to make and understand, especially if there's an exchange between two people where one person starts and the other person stops. And a thing you can do that can help with practice is what they call a table read. So you sit down with the people you're going to be on film with and you just read through it and get comfortable with how that exchange is going to go. But yes, practice is important.
Key. Yeah. I love that example, and one of my favorite examples of a table read is if you're a Game of Thrones fan, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the last episode, fast forward, is that famous clip of Kit Harington where he finds out he's going to kill Emily Clark, Daenerys Targaryen, in the show in the last episode, and you can see the whole table, they're just absolutely, he is just beyond himself when he finds this out. But it's such a kind of classic moment. But even actors, famous actors, they are table reading, they're practicing. Yeah, you have to practice. Number 4 is your space and lighting is so crucial to when you're filming. If you're going to spend the time and money, you really should have a good space and good lighting. And I think Michelle has a good example of why you want to think about lighting.
Yeah, lighting makes all the difference in the world. I mean, it makes your complexion look good, and the last thing you want to do is see yourself on camera and feel like you look gray. Like that one time that we did that shoot and we forgot your lighting, and boy, wasn't that a contrast. And I said to you after that, never again will I shoot a video without the lighting, because I looked like...
Yeah. In fact, I had to talk her into even using the videos. You were right. It was one of those days we forgot the lights, and we'll never do that again. In fact, we shouldn't have even shot the videos that day, but we did. Live and learn, right? One of the good things about lighting too is once you pick your space, you want to know that you have a lot of room, good lighting, but natural light. You don't even have to really have a ton of lighting equipment. Natural light is the best. Also, just having the environment, you want to have a good space where it is lit up. So if you're in a building or a conference room trying to find something with windows, but definitely get some lighting. Your professional team should have a lighting set for you, but don't shoot without light.
Don't shoot under fluorescence.
Yeah. All right, number 5 best practice is sound. I think this often gets overlooked. I know we've done it and we've gotten busted for it, for not having good sound. You can see we've got mics on even, for our small production. And it's important because if people can't hear you or understand what you're doing, or there's a lot of noise in the background, it's really distracting. And then the whole point of your video is lost, right? Because you don't have good sound. We definitely like our sound equipment, we like our team. And so if you are doing it with yourself, filming yourself, make sure you get a lavalier that you can plug in to whatever you're filming with. And then if you've got a professional crew, which they should obviously have sound equipment, but they should also be able to advise you on the environment. If you're going to be outside, you're inside, what kind of sound equipment you're going to need, and what are your limitations. So if you're going to be outside, you're probably going to be limited on what you can do with that sound equipment. So just make sure you're talking to your crew and planning ahead and have good sound equipment for your video. All right, number 6. Wardrobe, which is my favorite topic, is dressing for your video. I think that most people, it's common sense. Our kind of rule of thumb is if you're going to dress for your shoot, think about who's on the other end watching the video. If it's a client, how would you show up to your client's office? What are some other good tips on wardrobe?
I think it's important that you wear something that you're comfortable in. And I think it's important that you watch patterns. Sometimes patterns, especially stripes and plaids, don't read well with video. So, those are some things to consider. I think, stay away from patterns if you can. Warm colors, neutrals, jewel colors, dark navy blue, those are great colors. And then again, just common sense. If for us, obviously, we're probably more professional. We're talking to other professionals, so we want to look that part. But if you're doing something fun or outside, just dress appropriately. But think about your wardrobe. Kind of going back to one of our first points of budgeting, you want to do multiple videos on a same shoot day. Wear a different wardrobe. That's kind of a key tip. Bring in multiple pieces, and your videographer, your crew can help you pick out what you should be wearing on camera and maybe what not to wear on camera. Number 7, your body language on camera. Okay, so this is tough because being on camera is not natural. It's not for anybody. So what's a good tip to get started as far as how to be conscious of your body language? Well, I think one of the things that's really important, and it's sometimes hard to remember, is to sit up straight and put your shoulders back. And, that's key. And also, if you can, smile. It's hard to think that there's something over there looking at you, but there is something over there looking at you. And so just try to remember to smile and sit up straight and hold your posture in a good place.
Yeah. A trick, in chairs like this, we were actually debating when we first started, do we want to lean back? Do we want to be more comfortable? And you can, but then you might start slouching, you might start looking funny. So a trick is sit at the, end of your chair. It kind of forces you to sit up straight because you got nothing to lean on. I'm trying to think. Just obviously looking at the camera, sitting up straight, and smiling. That's a good one. I hadn't thought about that.
Smiling.
Yeah, you gotta smile. Number 8, best practice. be okay with mistakes and minor flaws. I know this is tough for us too, but sometimes you just have to let the sentence flow out a little differently than you planned in your head. And why is that? It's just more authentic, and it's okay. I don't think you can afford to do retakes and make your videos perfect. I know we can't. What else do you have to let go when you're filming?
Well, I think like you said, sometimes you get so hung up on how you've scripted something or what you want to say, and maybe you miss a point. Unless it's a critical point that your audience is, going to get hung up on, just let it go. Overall, as long as you're communicating the topics that you want to communicate, just kind of let it flow naturally. And if you make a mistake or you do something a little awkward or funny, it's just who you are. And again, you're trying to be authentic and you're trying to educate, and that's what's most important.
Yeah, and that goes back to some of our previous points. Writing your scripts, don't write them out, stick to your bullets, and then practicing. That'll help with some of those minor flaws, but we find they're in every video, and that's okay. So you'll be okay. Number 9, don't forget your call to action. This is so often overlooked, and especially for a business doing a video, you have to have a call to action. You have to tell your audience what to do. I mean, that's the whole point of your video, right? You want them to do something, and it doesn't need to be salesy. I think that's what a lot of people get confused on is, oh, my call to action, that's too salesy. It's not. It's just helping your viewer move to the next stage. So maybe they've learned a little something from you, and now they'd like to learn more. So how do they find you? Where do they go? Is there something they could download or research? So it's really important to make sure you have a good call to action so that your viewer knows what to do next, and they're not kind of left hanging there.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, Reb, saying that you're kind of taking them through the sales cycle a little bit. So you've done a video, you've touched on a topic, and now it's like, come to our website to learn more, or download this, white paper and get an in-depth, overview of some kind of topic that we're talking about, or something, or call us and ask us some questions.
Yeah.
Reach out to us. So there's always got to be some kind of call to action.
Yeah, always. It's not salesy. It's important, and it should be part of your video process. Number 10 in our best practices is really enjoy the process and have fun. Doing video production and being on camera is not easy, but you've got to have some fun with it, enjoy what you're doing, and the best part is you are creating really great content, and it is valuable. So we can't stress that enough. And I feel like we have fun, don't we?
Yeah, I think it's important that your personality come out. I mean, it's kind of like when you're networking or you're at a trade show event, you are just who you are, and hopefully you're energetic, you're a little witty, and you're enjoying the process of connecting. And so even though video feels like you're a little removed, it's a way to connect. And so be yourself and have fun.
Yeah. We have fun. We have fun, so yes, have fun. All right, well, following our own best practice, our call to action to you is to create some great video content, put your strategy together, and if you need help putting a video plan, strategy, filming, give REBL a call. We'll help revolutionize your video marketing.